Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about what is an embedded system. Okay, these are the overview of an embedded system. First we see what is the difference between the processor and controller. Then what is an embedded system and what are the building blocks in embedded system and applications of an embedded system, characteristics of an embedded system and also evaluation of microcontrollers and drawbacks in microcontrollers. Okay, first we see what is the processor and controller. Okay, before knowing what is an embedded system, we should know the major difference between the processor and controller. Okay, first the processor. The processor only consists of central processing unit, that means CPU, but controller contains central processing unit, memory, and input output. All are integrated into one chip. But processor external bus to need and interface the RAM, ROM, and other peripherals. Okay, but microcontroller doesn't need any external bus. Okay, but we are all know here we talk about an RAM, ROM. These are connected to the microprocessor, right? But we should know what are RAM and ROM. We all know what is RAM and ROM. RAM is a random access memory. ROM is the read-only memory, right? Random access memory is a volatile memory. What is an volatile? When is the power is off, the data is will be erased, right? But ROM is a non-volatile, so permanent. Random access, so access means we can access the memory, but read only memory, only we can read the memory, right? So microprocessor external first to interface the RAM, ROM, and other peripherals, but microcontroller doesn't need any external buses. So microprocessor is complicated. Why it's complicated? Because we want to need many external buses because RAM, ROM, other peripherals. So the microprocessor is complicated, but microcontroller is simple and inexpensive. Okay, so microprocessor is expensive because we want to connect external many things. So and also with large number of instructions to process. Okay, so we talk about RAM, ROM. Microprocessor RAM storage means 512 MB to 32 gigabytes. Okay, so 500 megabytes to 32 gigabytes. Okay, but then ROM storage in microprocessor is 128 gigabytes up to 2 terabyte. Okay, the clock speed of microprocessor is 1 gigahertz to 4 gigahertz for high-end processing, right? The controller's memory space of memory storage is RAM storage space is 2 kilobyte to 256 kilobyte. Comparing to microprocessor, microcontroller storage space is less. Okay, so microcontroller RAM space is 2 kilobyte to 256 kilobyte. ROM. ROM storage space to 32 kilobyte to 2 MB. The clock speed of the controller is 1 megahertz to 300 megahertz. Okay, so these are the main difference between the processor and controller. Now we learn about processor and controller. Now let's see what is the examples of processor and controller. Okay, so applications, we are all know microprocessor, we need to, it has only central processing unit, so computer is an best example of processor. Controller means the examples washing machines, microwave oven, etc. Okay, okay, now let's move on what is an embedded system. Okay, okay, embedded system. Before knowing what is an embedded system, we should know what is a system. Okay, system. It's an arrangement in which all its units assemble work together according to the set of rules. Okay, system is nothing but an arrangement in which all its units assemble work together according to the set of rules. Okay. The examples of system is watch. We all know watch. Watch is in a time displaying system. So many components are interfaced in the watch. If any one of the component is failed, the watch doesn't work. So each component depend on others. Okay, each components are depends. So these are the system. So now let's see what is an embedded system. Embedded system, it's a combination of hardware and software. It's designed to perform a particular task. Okay, the task has to be completed in a given time. Okay, it's a combination of hardware and software to designed to perform a particular task. The task has to be completed in given times. Okay, these are the embedded system. The examples of embedded systems are washing machines, microwave oven, mobile phones, and etc. Okay, we are all know washing machines how to work and microwave oven. Washing machine has hardware part and also the software part. We put the clothes in the machines, it works on, and we have to set the time, and also it gives an output. Okay, so it's a combination of hardware and also software. These are the same to the microwave oven. We cook the food in, we set the time, and we also food will be cooked, right? So my washing machines and microwave oven have hardware part also and also software part. Okay, the washing machine, first we put the clothes and user enters the time and also the output will be displayed. Okay, the output will be delivered, the training clothes. Okay, these are the examples of washing machines. Then what are the building blocks in embedded systems? Building blocks in the controller have to be run. Okay, so the building blocks in embedded system has one input and output, and also the controller has to be operated, the power supply should be needed. So the one power supply, input and output, the controller, the frequency generator. Okay, these are the building blocks in embedded system. Examples, we have to take washing machines. Okay, first input in washing machines is to put the clothes in machines. Okay, so these are the inputs, and controller is a machine. Now the output means the training clothes. Okay, so washing the clothes, that's an output. So it's operated, we need a power supply, right? Then what is a frequency generator? Frequency generator means in which frequency it has to be operated. Okay, that means crystal oscillator. We have to see in controllers about crystal oscillator. Okay, now let's see what are the input parts of a controller. Inputs parts of a controller, it's an sensors. You know, sensor is a physical quantity to measure, convert the electrical quantity, right? So sensors and push buttons, button pressed, and then Bluetooth. These are the input ports. Okay. Then what are the output ports? Sensors input means output port is buzzer. Buzzer will be output port. Then we have to see LEDs, LCDs, Bluetooth. These are the output port. Okay. The frequency generator means crystal oscillator, right? So these controller may be varied. Okay, we have to see what are the controllers, the evaluation of controllers in later. Okay, so these are the main building blocks in embedded system. Okay, right? And then we have to see applications of an embedded system. Okay, the embedded system has variety of applications, various fields in applications of embedded system. Right, now see, let's see medical field in embedded system, and also agriculture field, and also automobiles and space. Okay, um, and also building systems, transportations, many of the applications of an embedded system. Okay, so first, medical field of an embedded system is a pacemaker and patient monitoring of the embedded system. Okay, what are the embedded system applications in agriculture field? The feeding system. Okay, right. Then air conditioning, water feeding. These are the applications of an agriculture field. What are the applications of an automobiles in embedded system means engine management and trip computers, airbags. Okay. Then transportations applications in embedded system means planes, trains, boats, everything. Okay. In applications of embedded system in banking also. Banking is ATM is a embedded system, right? Hardware and software part. Office means printer, copier, fax. Thus, that's are the embedded systems. Then building system means elevator. We know elevator as an embedded system. Okay. So these are the applications of an embedded system. In embedded system in everything. Okay. So next we have to see the characteristics of an embedded system. Okay. What are the characteristics of an embedded system? The characteristics of embedded system is first one is sophisticated functionality, the real-time operation, low manufacturing cost, low power consumptions. Okay. Now let's see what is an sophisticated functionality. Okay, first the sophisticated functionality. Okay, the sophisticated functionality, the system design and may vary the system to system, right? So the system applications and also system functionality may vary the system to system. So for a system, if the performance is a primary factor, then it should be designed in a such a way that performance is always achieved. Okay, that is sophisticated functionality. So not sophisticated functionality is means the system design and functionality may be varied system to system. We know washing machines are different and microwave oven is different, but these are the embedded, right? So that is sophisticated functionality. Then real time operations. Okay, so real time operations means the embedded system that performs in given time or deadlines. Okay, so that performs only on have completed by a deadlines. Okay, the real time operations means the operation has to be completed by the deadlines. Okay, the deadlines based, it has categorized in two types. First one is soft real time systems, second one is hard real time systems. Okay, what is a soft real time system? In the soft real time system is that deadline to perform the task may vary. Okay, and output after the deadline is still useful or acceptable. This deadline differs from system to system. Okay, in soft real-time system means the deadline to perform the task may vary. Okay, if the output is still acceptable, it may exceed the deadline. Okay, it's the soft real-time operations. For example, we would like to power on the oven, it starts right within 3 minutes, still it cooks well, nothing goes wrong, right? So it's the soft real time system. It's the examples of soft real time system. And also we know we should power on the TV with a remote and it's not working in one or two attempts, right? Now it's nothing goes wrong, right? So the output is still acceptable. Nothing makes wrong due to the system delay. Okay, so these are the soft real-time systems. Then what are the hard real-time systems? Hard real-time system means the system should perform in a given time frame. That means given deadlines. Okay, the output is not acceptable if the deadline is exceed. Okay, so these are the hard real-time systems. A system should be performed in a given time frame. Okay, so the best example is hard real-time systems, traffic light, right? So traffic light controller, everything should be done in a particular time. So every single minute to be considered. So in easy word, whatever it happens, the operation has to be completed in a hard real-time systems. Soft real-time means the output will be acceptable, the timeline still exceed. Okay, so these are the real-time operations. Then low manufacturing cost. Okay, so the embedded system, the controller, the processor or low manufacturing cost should be there. Then and also the low power consumption. Okay, so these are the characteristics of an embedded system. And also we see the embedded system is a combination of hardware and software designed to perform a particular task, right? So that particular task, right? So embedded system are better than the general purpose computer. Okay, even they are small processing elements inside like microprocessor and microcontroller, and also the speed typically in the range of megahertz. Okay, so the main word of embedded system is it's a combination of hardware and software designed to perform a particular task, right? Okay, so now let's see evaluation of microcontrollers. Why we have to move the microcontrollers? Okay, we have to see first 8051 microcontroller, then PIC microcontroller. Now we are using an Arduino microcontroller. Okay, in upcoming videos we have to see Arduino, how to program it and upload it. Okay, so first we have to see microcontrollers. Okay, first we have to see microcontroller. Here we are using first microcontroller is an 8051 microcontroller. Okay, okay, 8051. This is the first microcontroller is designed by Intel in 1981. Okay, it's an 8-bit microcontroller. Okay, it's built with 40 pins tip. Okay, what is the tip? Tip means dual inline package. Okay, and also we have to see controllers have less storage than the processor, right? So the RAM storage of 8051 microcontroller is the ROM storage of microcontroller 8051 microcontroller is only 4 kilobyte. Okay, so RAM storage is 128 bytes. Okay, these are the storage of 8051 microcontroller, and also it's a 16-bit timers. Okay, so timers, it consists of 4 parallel 8-bit ports. Okay, so it the 4 8-bit ports means it acts as a programmable and also addressable. Okay, it's also programmable and also addressable. So these are all are in integrated in a one chip, right? So crystal frequency is 12 megahertz. Okay, 8051 is the first microcontroller. So now we already seen the difference between the processor and controller. Uh, Controller have everything integrated in a one chip. So that 8051 microcontroller programmable as well as addressable. Okay, so some the microcontroller 8051 microcontroller have some disadvantages, so that's why we are going to one big microcontroller. Big microcontroller have also that some disadvantages, that's why we are going to one ARM family, right? In later see what are the disadvantages in 8051 microcontroller and how to program on it. Okay, first we have to first pick microcontroller. Okay, first 8051 microcontroller is clear. Now pick microcontroller. Now let's see what is a PIC microcontroller. First it names PIC microcontroller means peripheral interface controller. Now it has called as programmable intelligent computer. Okay, so PIC is made by the PIC microcontrollers made by microchip technology. Okay, derived from PIC 1650. Okay, so now the PIC is called as programmable intelligent computer. Okay, then the PIC microcontroller have it has only yearly models. In early models the PIC microcontroller have only read only memory. Okay, for storage purpose, not ROM anything else. Now early models PIC microcontroller have only read only memory for storage purpose, some with provision for erasing memory. Okay, all current models use flash memory for program storage. Okay, these are the early models. In newer models allows PIC to reprogram itself. Okay, so the program memory and data memory are separated in. Okay, and it's also we have to we say already the program memory and data memory are separated, right? So the data memory is 8 bit, 16 bit, and latest model is 32 bit. Okay, but okay, it have developed in program memory is 8 bit, 16 bit, and also 32 bit, right? So program instruction vary in bit count by family of PIC. Okay, bit and count by vary. So the instruction set also varies by model. Okay, now the hardware capabilities of PIC devices ranges from 6 pins of SMD and also 8 pins of dual inline package chips. Okay, 8 pin up to 144 pins of SMD chips. Okay, then it also communicated with the UART, I2C, CAN, and even USB. And also PIC microcontroller have low power and also high speed variations exist for many types. Okay, so PIC microcontroller have some disadvantages. So that's why we are going to an ARM family, right? And also 8051 microcontroller and PIC microcontroller is used to hard because we wrote in a program in a X file and we have to upload in, we have to dump in another file. Okay, so it's hard to use. Now currently we are using a controller is Arduino. Okay, we are all know here about what is an Arduino. In upcoming videos we have to see what is an Arduino, how to program on it. Okay, so 8051 and PIC microcontroller have some disadvantages and also it's used to hard and in large device. Okay, size is large, so it's used to operate and it's quite hard. Okay, so next we have to move on. What is an ARM family? Okay, okay, what is an ARM? ARM stands for Advanced RISC Machine. Okay, it's the one of the extensive and most licensed processor cores in the world. Okay, the first ARM processor was developed in the year of 1978 by Cambridge University. Okay, and the first ARM RISC processor reduced instruction set. Okay, reduced instruction set computer processor was produced by the Argonne group of computers in the year of 1985. Okay, these are the processors are specifically used in portable devices. Okay, these are the devices are used in portable devices like digital cameras, mobile phones, home appliances, wireless communication technologies, and other embedded system due to the benefits of an what are the benefits? What are the benefits such as low power consumption, reasonable performance, and etc. Okay, these are the ARM architecture. Okay, now the ARM architecture have the ARM architecture comes with totally two different versions as that's like ARM version 1, ARM version 2, and also etc. Okay, it has one has an own advantage and also some disadvantages. Because it has one advantages, sorry, some it has some disadvantages means we have to move on next thing. So it has, so the advanced the versions of ARM is has some advantages also and disadvantages also. Okay, so the ARM Cortex, the controller, okay, the ARM controller is complicated within the ARM family. Okay, there are three subfamilies within the ARM Cortex family. Okay, there are three subfamilies under the ARM family, ARM Cortex family. What are the three subfamilies means? ARM Cortex AX series, ARM Cortex RX series, ARM Cortex MX series. Okay, these are the three subfamilies of ARM family. Okay, and then we have to move on. What is an Arduino, right? So Arduino is a we have to say about why we have to move on Arduino. Okay, so but it has some disadvantages of 8051 microcontroller and PIC microcontroller and also ARM microcontroller, right? So let's see what is the disadvantages of these microcontrollers. Okay, drawbacks in 8 microcontrollers. Okay, the drawbacks in microcontroller means instruction set, ADC we all know, analog to digital conversion, and PWM, pulse width modulation, and also timer. Okay, these are the drawbacks in microcontrollers. Okay, so the 8051 microcontroller have large number of instruction set. Okay, so that's why we have move on PIC microcontroller. PIC microcontroller comparing to 8051 microcontroller instruction set, it has less instruction set. Okay, comparing to PIC microcontroller instruction set, Arduino microcontroller have less instruction set. Okay, so these are the main disadvantages of that microcontrollers, 8051 microcontrollers. So instruction set is large. First we should know what is an instruction set, right? So what is an instruction set? So what are the instruction set? Instruction set means writing a program for any microcontroller consists of giving commands to the microcontrollers in a particular order, okay, in which they must be executed in perform. Okay, so these are the instruction set. Instruction set is nothing but writing a program for any microcontrollers consists of giving commands to the microcontrollers in a particular order in which they must be executed in order to perform a specific task, right? So controller we are know that designed to perform a specific task, right? So the commands to the microcontrollers are the commands to the microcontrollers are known as the instruction set. Okay, instruction set nothing but commands to the controller. Okay, so instruction set has made many in a 8051 microcontroller. Okay, so that 256 instruction sets in 8051 microcontroller. That's why we are moving on PIC microcontroller. Then ADC. Okay, ADC means we are all know analog to digital conversion. Okay, but 8051 microcontroller doesn't have any ADC. We have to convert the analog to digital conversion. First we connect the external ADC to the 8051 microcontroller. Okay, these are the major disadvantages in 8051 microcontroller. Okay, analog to digital conversion, that means 8051 microcontroller doesn't have any ADC, analog to digital conversion. we have to convert the analog to digital conversion. We should externally connect to the ADC. Okay. So first we take the input is an analog. Okay. So the computers does run in a only digital format. So we have to our controller only run in a digital format. So we have to conversion is a very important. So analog to digital conversion is a very important. So that's why analog to 8051 microcontroller doesn't have any ADC. Okay. So but we are using Arduino microcontroller have 6 ADC pins. Okay. It has many ADC pins, analog to digital conversion pins. Okay. So these are the advantages of our Arduino. So next, PWM. What is a PWM? It's a pulse width modulation, right? So PWM means pulse width modulation. Okay. So most of the microcontrollers have special pins assigned for PWM. Even PIC microcontroller have PWM pins and Arduino has. Arduino has 6 PWM pins. Okay. And also PIC microcontroller also have PWM pins. But 8051 microcontroller have doesn't any PWM pins. Okay. What is a PWM? Pulse width modulation. So pulse width modulation is a technique where the width of the digital pulse is adjusted to generate the different average DC voltages. Okay. Pulse width modulation means where the width of the digital pulse is adjusted to generate different averages DC voltage. Okay, this means pulse width modulations. Pulse width modulations also used to control and control and the direction of the motors. Okay, that PWM techniques control the motors. Okay, we have to execute the projects in projects. So PWM pins are important. So 8051 have doesn't any PWM pins. So these are the drawbacks in 8051 microcontroller. But our Arduino have PWM pins. So 6 PWM pins. Okay. So it has control the motors in 3 motors. Okay. So PWM pins are doesn't have in 8051 microcontroller. Then what are the drawbacks in timer? What are the timers in drawback? Timers also there in 8051 microcontroller and also PIC microcontroller and also Arduino. Okay. So the timer means the 8051 microcontroller has two timers. Okay, time 0 and time 1. PIC microcontroller have 3 timers and also Arduino has 3 timers. Okay, first we should know what are the timers. Why should we use in microcontrollers? Okay, and also 8051 microcontroller we have to need external timer. That means that name is IC8555. Okay, so these are the major disadvantages in 8051 microcontroller. Okay, in case we have to code on 8051 microcontroller, we have to first write the code on Excel format and we have to dump to the another one. Okay, it's a very big procedure. So it's hard to learn. It's hard to learn means it's a large in size also. So we have to use compact size and less amount of time. That's all considered about it. Okay, so Arduino is an now we are using an Arduino is for everything is easy to make. Okay, so timer 8051 microcontroller need external timer that names IC8555. Okay, so we know what is the timer. So timer is an important application in embedded system. Okay, it maintains the timing of an operations with the system clock. Okay, the timer has so many applications such as measure the time generating delays, they can also used for generating the baud rates. Okay, the timer isn't nothing but it maintains the timing of an operations. Okay, these are the timers, so that's why we are using an timers in microcontrollers. Okay, and also it's used for measuring the time, generating delays, and they also used for generating the baud rates also. Okay, these are the main drawbacks in microcontrollers, that 8051 microcontroller, big microcontroller. So now we have to move on what is an Arduino and how to work on it, and also how to program on it. Okay, so in upcoming videos we have to see about what is Arduino, how to program, and why should that's better than another microcontrollers like 8051 microcontroller and PIC microcontroller. And also the Arduino has to be code uploaded is very easy comparing to other microcontrollers. Okay, so let's see in upcoming videos we have to see about Arduino IDE, Arduino software, and also how to working on it. Okay, thank you.